Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Caven. I wanted to show you something I made just recently. It's another one of those little, I think I'm going to call them tunnel cards because I'm not quite sure what to call them. They're not really a pop-up card, although they do pop up. As I said in another video, these are great if you want to post them because they lay flat, which means that you can post them in an ordinary flat envelope at much less cost than trying to post a shadow box. It's really cute. It's a very simple little forest scene with some pine trees, a mountain range, and a little eagle flying through the forest up here. The little house adds a bit of interest as well. And there's a moon and some stars rising behind the mountain range. Now I'm going to make another one of these, but what I'd like to try this time is to get more layers in the hill section. So that's going to be my main aim for this particular video, to see how it might work out. I have an idea which doesn't involve adding layers. It involves just adding little bits behind some of the layers. So I'm going to try it and see if it works out. So here we go. I have an assortment of all bits and pieces and offcuts of blue, different coloured blues and whites. So I'm going to try to use these up to make the extra layers in my design. I'm going to start with the very front one. There it is. So what I'm going to do is I want to have a little bit of this colour blue showing in front of this piece here like this. So let's have a go. So that's the shape I've got now. Let's see how it might look. So we've got the front piece, and then behind the front piece we would have this little piece here. I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape on it, just to hold it in place for a little while, just to see if this is the effect that I'm looking for. So I've taped him down like that. You can see from the front how we've got that tiny little bit of blue now. So if I put it in front of this one, now I've got another layer of a hill without actually adding another layer to my design. So that's the kind of effect that I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to add a couple more layers between the layers that I already have. I like that. I love the way this looks now. It's just got so much extra in it. Especially love this little bit of printed paper here with the snowflake. It's a beautiful deep blue and it looks just great. I'm so pleased with the way this is going to look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it together using my two side pieces, which I have scored along the long edges from point to point. So they go either side and the tabs fit into the slots. Now the front one gets glued on, so we don't have to worry about that one. We start with the second one and we put it into the very front slot. It just slips in nicely like that and you can move up and down. I like to make sure that everything's nice and even. So make sure it lines up along the bottom edge. Just like that. Turn it over. Now, when I first started making these, the little tabs kept popping out. It was very frustrating. So I decided to put a little bit of clear sticky tape on the back of each tab, just to hold it in place so that they don't move anywhere. You can't see it, and it's on the back of the tab as well. So that's the first piece in. Now let's do the same on the second side. Into the top, into the bottom, make sure that everything lines up along the bottom edge, and turn it over. A little bit of tape. And that's the first one done. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead now, speed things up for you while I put the rest of them in. There we go, that's all of the layers on now. So now I'm going to put the back piece, which is this piece here. Now because I've cut sections out of the back piece, I'm going to back it with a piece of white. So I have my piece of white here, just so that it shines through nice and bright rather than just have a hole. It also makes it nice and sturdy for that back piece there. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this together. Now the back piece, of course, will get glued onto the tabs. This tab here and this tab here. So just make sure that everything's going to fit okay before you put glue on it. Now the front's going to go on in exactly the same way. And that's it. It's finished. Let's have a look at it. It should sit nice and flat either way. And that's what it looks like. It will stand up, of course, by itself. And you can see all the little layers here. Now, if you look down through the layers, you can't even see where I added those extra little bits. So that's a good thing. That's how it sits up, but this is how it looks this way. I love the extra layers. I think it's just really added a bit more interest to it. I loved the first one, but it was a bit plain and simple. Here's the first one again. Just a little bit. First one was just a little bit plain and simple, but still so cute and gorgeous. This one just has a little bit of extra something, a little bit of extra depth with those layers that I've added. My two little boxes are almost finished. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn them over. I'll just show you on this one. And on the back, I have this pretty little square of scalloped edged paper here. Now I'm going to glue this onto the back, and this is where you'll be able to write your message. Because it's a card, it's an unusual kind of card, and there is nowhere really to write on it. So by providing this on the back, you have plenty of room to write down any sentiment that you would like to. So I'm just going to... So what do you think? I'd love to hear your comments about what I've done today, whether you think it looks good or perhaps I could have done it another way. Have you ever made any of these? If so, I'd love to see some of your designs. And thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back again soon with another video.